how's it going? I'm on, and I wanted to make this video to share with you some lessons that I've learned from my pre-dental journey. Any of these tips that I mentioned in this video is really based on my personal experience and no one else's. I am only speaking for myself and no one else. I do also want to say that if you feel like any of these tips are not helpful, feel free to not use them at all. It's cool. But if you find them helpful, great. Anyway, let's just get started with the video. So to start off, the checklist for building your application to apply to dental school is very long. I'm talking about the academic requirements, the volunteering hours, clinical shadowing hours. That cannot be done in one go. I think that would be crazy if you try to do that. Please do not do that. If you can, great. But I think it will be way too much on your plate. So what I think might be better for you to do is, let's say you're taking whatever courses you need for that one semester. Maybe on the side you should do like volunteering for twice a month. I'm not even talking about like twice a week kind of volunteering. I'm just saying twice a month, but try to do that for multiple months in a row so it seems like really good on your application. You're gonna rack up all those hours without even realizing it because you're doing it only twice a month. So as for shadowing, I only shadowed for one semester, and for me it was luckily a part of my curriculum. It was part of my practicum. I was able to do it for academic credit, and I was allowed to be there 2 to 3 times a week. But that's how I got my shadowing hours. So the next thing is, be honest with yourself. If you have a weakness in your application, please acknowledge it. Please do try your best to fix it, make it better. It might be your GPA, it might be your volunteering hours, whatever it may be, like please try to fix it. Don't just brush it off, because the last thing you want to do is apply to dental school and wonder why you didn't get in, and maybe that is the reason why you didn't get in, you know? Like, you want to try to strengthen your applications as much as possible. For example, let's say you're taking the dental admissions test or the DAT, and let's say you're not very good at Gen Chem. You don't want to just ignore that category when studying for it. You want to be honest with yourself and say like, okay, I don't know like half of these questions. Let me just like bang out some more practice questions. Let me try harder. Let me work on this subject a little bit more than the others. And that is going to help you in the long run, especially when you take that exam on the exam date. So speaking of being honest with yourself, I think it is also important to know if you need to reschedule your DAT exam date. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about this, but I think that it's important to realize when you're not ready or prepared to take the exam that you schedule months in advance for. I personally rescheduled my exam the week before the exam date because, I mean, it was costly, but I was just abnormally nervous. I remember doing like practice questions for like organic chemistry, and I wasn't doing too hot on it, and I was freaking out. I was like, I should not be doing this bad in orgo, especially when my exam is next week. So I came into terms with myself that, you know, even though I study for X amount of months, you know, it's okay if I delay it a little bit longer so that I go in the exam knowing that I did everything that I possibly could to get the best score I possibly can. And for me to not feel that is what made me so nervous. Reschedule exam if you feel like you were kind of like me, just abnormally nervous. I'm not saying that being nervous is a bad thing. A little nervous is actually really good. It keeps you alert when you take your exam, but excessive nervousness, you know, you don't really want that. Like, try to be honest with yourself. That's an important one. So speaking of the DAT, since we're already on this topic, I think that it is okay if you do not do well or exceptionally well in your first try, because it is the first time you're taking it. You don't know what it's gonna be like. You don't know what the environment's gonna be like, which is very important, by the way. I was caught off guard. I remember going to my testing center, and I was expecting to start the exam maybe like 30 minutes into waiting, like once I got there, but I didn't take it until like an hour and 15 minutes later. I was exhausted just waiting there for an hour. There was like a long line of people that also had to take another exam that day, and they have this whole procedure of taking your fingerprint, taking your photo, making sure that you are who you say you are when you are taking the exam, like so that no one's taking it for you. I was really unprepared for that, and I didn't get the ball rolling when I was taking an exam until the second category. So my first category was like rough. Honestly, it was rough. But it's okay, you know, if you took it once, your first time, and it's not that hot, you know, your score. It's okay. But with that said, I don't think you should just go in your first exam thinking it's whatever. It's like, I'm gonna take it again anyways. Don't go in thinking like that, please. Just go in trying your best, like thinking that, you know, this is the only exam you're gonna take, and it's definitely okay if you don't do exceptionally well. All right, so this next one is a little bit cheesy. You might think it's coming out of a Disney movie, but I stand by it because it works. And it's to believe in yourself. I found myself lacking confidence throughout my pre-dental journey. A lot of people around me were saying how they supported me, they believed in me, that they were like, you're gonna get in one day, you're gonna make it. And I was like, okay. Okay. I realized that to have an optimistic perspective in this journey, you really should have a little bit of confidence in yourself and what you're capable of. This is gonna play out when it comes to your academics as well. You have to believe in yourself that you, let's say you fail your first exam, that you can do well in the next one because you learned from your failures. You learned that because you study X, Y, and Z, that's why, you know, the first exam didn't go out well. So now you're gonna change up your study method for the second exam, and it's gonna work better this time because you know X, Y, and Z didn't work the first time. So just something small as that. I think it's really important to have that confidence in yourself that you can do it, and you will do it, and you will get in. All right, so this next one is something that I wish I did, and it's to shoot your shot. I only applied to dental school once. I didn't apply, you know, in senior year of undergrad. I didn't apply right when I graduated. I wish I did. I wish I applied just to see, you know, what could have become of it, but I didn't. I only applied when I became a little bit more confident in my application. I built my application more during my gap year. Okay, so this is probably the most important thing I'm gonna say in this video. I'm not over exaggerating. This is so important, but it's work hard. Like you need to work hard, harder than you've ever worked in your entire life. That might be over exaggerating just a little bit, but I do believe that if you work really hard, not just hard, but like be smart about it, your decisions and what you do, but working hard, I think, is so important in this whole journey, this process, because it is a difficult one. It definitely is, and it was not easy. Work hard, you know, not just academically, but also work hard in finding opportunities for you to shadow, volunteer, for you to have that clinical experience, because you might not have that easy connection. You might not just know someone that is in the dental field that could like help you have these opportunities, and you have to work hard to create those opportunities for yourself. Yeah, that is a big one, and I stand by it. Work hard. I want to end this video by saying that I'm rooting for all of y'all out there applying to dental school, because it is such a hard, challenging, difficult process. It's not easy, especially if you don't have any connections to anyone in the dental field. I'm talking about like a dental assistant, dental hygienist, dentist, dental student. It's very hard to get those opportunities that you need to get those hours and that experience that you need to build your application and to make you confirm the fact that you really want to do dentistry. It's even harder when you have those like financial barriers where, you know, you have to like commute to school because you can't afford to live on campus, that could really take a huge part of your studying time when you could be using that time to study, you know? It's hard, but it's gonna be so worth it, and you just have to stay strong, be optimistic, and work hard, and believe in yourself. And pretty much every single tip that I just told you, like. So with that, good luck to you. I wish you the best. Please stay safe out there, stay well. I hope to see you soon in my next video or my next Instagram post. If you want to follow my Instagram, I will be linking it in the description below, or it'll be somewhere on the screen, okay? If you have any questions, please comment in the section down below of this video, or shoot me a DM. See ya!